Now what we're going to do is some lovely stretching. It's a little while since we did a class, so we'll just do a really, really good stretch. Starting off with the muscles that we have just used. Bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees flop apart. Stretch, stretch, stretch those inner thighs. Relax into that stretch. Keep the chin down over the peach, keep the length in the neck. Then you might just want to slide those heels a little bit closer in towards your body and let the weight of your legs take your knees towards the floor. Just relax into that stretch. Relax neck, relax shoulders, shoulder blades melting into the floor. And then lifting the knees up, feet flat on the floor. Cross the right ankle over the left thigh. And then hold that there, if that's good enough stretch, in the outside of the hip and thigh on that right leg. And then if you want to increase the intensity of the stretch, you would lift your left heel. You can lift the left foot. You can hold on behind that left thigh and hug the legs into the chest. Ease the legs in a little bit more if you can. And then if you're doing that, you might just use that right elbow to ease the leg out a little bit more. See if that gives you even more stretch through the outside of the hip and thigh. Hold and stretch. If that's too much, of course, you can just leave the foot on the floor. And then when you're ready, changing legs. Crossing the ankle over and then either lifting the heel if you want to, or the foot. See how that feels in that outside hip and thigh. Or you can take your hand between your legs and hold on behind the thigh, hug in. Relax the neck. And then just ease that left leg out a little bit further if you want to, with that left elbow. You can decide which position gives you the best and most comfortable stretch. And then replacing the feet to the floor. Then just hug the right knee into the chest. Get a little stretch through the buttock. And then straighten the leg up towards the ceiling. You can hold on behind the thigh, or the calf, or the front of your trouser leg, or even your sock. And just ease the leg in. Make sure the leg stays straight. You can also extend your left leg out along the floor, which will help to keep the buttock down and lengthen through the hamstring that little bit more. But if that loses you the stretch, then you slide the leg back in. And then hold, and then turn the toes down towards the tummy. Then you get a big stretch through your calf, either with that left leg bent or straight, whichever works better. Easing the leg in. Get a good stretch through that hamstring behind the knee up into the thigh. Hold and stretch. And then replacing that foot to the floor. And then hug the other knee in. Hold that there. And then straightening the leg all the way up. You could always have one hand behind the thigh, one behind the calf. That's comfortable. Remember, you can straighten the other leg out if you want to. And turn the toes down to encourage the calf muscle to stretch also. If that's too much and this left knee starts to bend, you just slide that right leg right back in again. Just ease the leg in, get a really good stretch. If it eases off, you can ease it in that little bit more. And then just replacing the foot to the floor. Stretching the legs out, take the arms over the top of your head and stretch through from the tips of your fingers to the tips of your toes. Lift the rib cage, lengthen and stretch and breathe. Stretching, stretching. And then take hold of your right wrist with your left hand. Cross your right ankle over your left ankle. Give a little tug on that right wrist and bend your upper body to the left side. Get a good stretch down the side. If it's not comfortable with your arms over your head, if your shoulders don't like that, leave the arms down by your side and just reach down the seam of the trouser leg, whichever works better for you. Hold and stretch. Lift the rib cage, lengthen down the side. And then changing to the other side, just cross the left ankle over the right. Take hold of that left wrist with the right hand and do a big bend to your right side. And of course, again, you can leave the arms down by your side. If it's not comfortable with the arms over your head, lift the rib cage, lengthen through the legs. Get a really good stretch down the side. And then just gently bring it back to center, slide the feet in, taking the arms out to the side, crucifix position. keeping the shoulder blades glued down. Bring the knees of the feet together and then roll the knees over to your right side while you turn the head and look along that left arm. Hold and stretch there. Get a good stretch round the middle. Hold and stretch. And then just bringing the legs back up and then over to the other side. You might just want to turn your head and look along that right arm now. Hold that there. So you can stretch the neck as well. And then bring the legs back up again to centre. And stretch the legs out. And then roll gently over, please, onto your front. You might want to bend one leg and just push over onto your front. Taking the forehead down onto the back of one hand, reach behind with the other hand for the foot on the same side. Bring the heel into the bottom, so the knees are together. Press the hip into the floor and get a really good stretch down the front of the thigh. Remember, you can get hold of the sock or the trouser leg if you can't get the foot, or you could even bring the other leg up and cross the ankle over and push the leg in with the other ankle. If you want to, you can lift the head and the shoulders off the floor to increase the intensity of the stretch while you press your hip down, but you keep your eyes focused on the back of the hand so that you're not engaging the neck. And then replacing that foot and change legs. Heel to bottom, knees together, press the hip into the floor. Getting the sock or the trouser leg if you need to, or just crossing the other ankle over. And lifting the chest. If you want to, but keep your eyes focused so there's no strain on the neck. You're focusing on your hand. And then replacing the foot to the floor. Coming up onto the hands and knees. Then arching the back, drop the head, pull the tummy button up and in, and stretch. From the back of your neck, all the way down to your tail. Keep that tummy button pulled right up and in. Remember, you can always come up onto your knuckles if you're not comfortable on the palms. And just give your back a really good stretch. Push the hips towards the head and look back between the thighs. Then sitting back onto the heels, let the forehead rest down. You can stretch the arms out in front of you. You could take the arms behind you, palms up, if that's more comfortable. If there's a gap between the forehead and the floor, try not to lift your hips up in order to get your head down. Make a fist and put your head on the fist. If there's still a gap, put the other fist on top of it and let the head rest. Trying to keep the hips right back to get a really, really good stretch. Now you can always open the knees a little bit and sink right back onto the heels. And then from there, if you just want to come up into a sitting position and with the legs straight out in front of you, or bent or crossed, however's comfortable, but sit up nice and tall, shoulder blades sliding down your back, peach underneath the chin. Lengthen up through that piece of string in the centre of your head, and then put your right hand palm down underneath the buttock and sit on it. Drop your left ear down into your shoulder and stretch the neck and the shoulder. Hold and stretch. Keep lengthening through the spine, that tummy button still pulled up and in, using the weight of the head. And then lengthen up again, shoulders down, and then left hand, palm down underneath the buttock, sit on it, and drop your right ear down into your shoulder. Hold that one there. Stretch, stretch, stretch the neck. Ease the ear towards the shoulder. Make sure the shoulder doesn't come up into the ear. Lengthen the neck. And then sitting up again, nice and tall, shoulders back and down with the peach underneath the chin. Turn the head and look as far as you can over that right shoulder. And then slowly turn the head and look as far as you can over the left shoulder, keeping the chin down. Try not to tilt the top of the head back, keeping the shoulders back and down. Then just gently drop the chin all the way down into the chest. Slide your shoulder blades down your back, shoulders away from the ears. Lengthening through the neck. Using the weight of the head again just to stretch the back of the neck, but keep the tummy pulled up and in, and the back up straight. And then just lengthening up and release the shoulders forward, up and round and back and down. Get those shoulders moving again. Ease out those shoulders. Nice big